Welcome to another week of the One Foot Drive podcast. Mike Szabo, Andy Duvall, Tony Iannone. We are back. This episode, we're going to be doing the Sanderson Farm. The fall league continues for the PGA Tour. Going to do a little player pretender, and then we are going to jump into it. Ryder Cup recap and reactions.
Wow.
What a weekend.
A lot of talking there.
What a weekend. So, gentlemen, how was your weekend? Other than the Ryder Cup, let's save Ryder Cup for a little bit. Other than the Ryder Cup, how was your weekend, guys?
Not as good as yours. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, I was just interested to know how the whiteout game went.
Other than the result, gentlemen, it was another fantastic time. You know, the family tailgate. Scott and Megan Davis are the gracious hosts. My wife, you know, she always goes all out. She was doing colored Jello shots and like an apple pie Jello shot with a little whipped cream on top, maybe a blue and white berry Jello shot. You know, the standard tailgate food, tailgate drinks, shenanigans, good times had by all. So great time at the tailgate, the game, the atmosphere, Penn State whiteout. Even if you don't like football, even if you don't like Penn State, you got to get to one. 111,000 people. Minus me, I don't scream, but they're all screaming their heads off. It is unbelievable. I was telling Tony, like at the Bills game, they have the little decibel thing. In the Bills, and they get all rowdy. They'll get up to like 105, 106, and they'll be like, maybe they get to a 110, you know, and that's hard to even track outdoors. Penn State, opening of the game, when they get everybody fired up, they had the little decimal thing. As soon as it went on the screen, it was like 105, 119, 129, and then it just went off. And it went to a different graphic. Like it was plus 130 every time the stadium erupted. My ears, by the time I got out of there, like Trace and I were in the car, and usually I have the radio like on volume 20, 21. I felt like I had it on 35 just to hear what they were saying on the radio.
We would that's an OSHA hazard.
We would ask ourselves, like she'd say something, and I'd be like, "What?" And then I'd say something, and she'd be like, "What?" And like it was weird. It's the weirdest thing ever, man. Like I think you lose your hearing a little bit.
You just get blown out
because the game was competitive. At the beginning, not so much in the middle, and then at the end when they went to the prevent defense, went to double overtime. Penn State lost, and I think the stadium was louder at the end than it was at the beginning, which is very, very hard to do. It's phenomenal. So Penn State was on the losing end. 12-team playoff. They still got a chance, you know, with the new NCAA system. But, yeah, great weekend. Nice, down and back, though, quick. Down Friday. Hung out. We got there late. Hung out in DJ's new basement remodel. Help him hung a couple TVs. Watched the PO Mounties play football on TV. Ryan Sulte doing the play-by-play, him and Noodles. So that was always a good time for sure. But, yeah, nice. Saturday, and then our son Jack, we get to catch up with him, take him out to eat, hang out, see old Jacko. So good time. Good time, boys.
Good Jack.
Yeah, but that was my weekend. Good times.
I love that.
So,
I wish my weekend was as hard, but it was low key. Yeah,
but you're chasing the little one around. That's fun in itself, you know. You got
always a treat, especially when she knows how to move now. She can push the walker and stuff. It's a fun time. It's a fun time.
Getting your steps in.
Oh yeah.
When they get mobile,
I'm crawling around more than she is. Got to stop her from pulling herself up and doing all that stuff and all the things she shouldn't be. So yeah, it's good. It's fun.
I could just, if I had a camera in the Duvall living room, like if your wife is working and you're in charge of the little one, and like you're just chilling on the couch and like you zone out for half a second on your phone or the TV or a book or whatever you're doing, and you look up and you're just like, I could hear it. Just Andy going, "Oh God." Oh God. And then just like looking around, where'd the baby go? Drew, Get out of that.
We have this little doghouse. We have this little doghouse for our dog to go in when it's like storming and stuff, and
Sure.
he doesn't use it. Whatever.
Mm.
Literally earlier this week, I just turn around and I'm looking down, as you said, and I'm just like, oh my God, where is she? I look over and her head just pops out. She's like, yeah. Oh my God, here we go. Heart racing, stomach oh yeah.
You do not want a mobile toddler that thinks it's fun to hide from mom and dad. You do not want that on yourself. That's where you tie a bell around their rear end. So you always hear them.
That or balloon, one of the two.
Yeah, balloon's a good call. Yeah, balloon's a good call. I like that actually.
Yeah.
I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah, it's a treat. It's a treat. All right, boys.
Well, we got Sanderson Farms Championship, Little Jackson, Mississippi, Country Club of Jackson, par 72, 7,400 yards. The old PGA Tour Fall Swing is in full action. Second event. Defending champion Kevin. I didn't bring my glasses, so I'm going to probably act like a fool here. But Kevin, either you or Vu. I can't read my own writing. You?
It's you.
All right. So Kevin, you minus 23 over Bo Hostler last year in a playoff. Any thoughts on this before we get into our picks, boys?
Did they have it here last year? I thought Sanderson Farms was the oh no. I'm thinking of the West Coast swing. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, they your boy last year shot 60, Tony.
Who?
David Skins.
Oh, the Englishman.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he
Love
shot
it.
60 last year, so it should be interesting. It's kind of one of those golf courses that's like they say it's like relatively tight, but like the rough's only like 2 inches long. It's Bermuda, so it can still kind of get going, but greens are like somewhat Donald Ross-esque, some contours and things like that. So, we'll probably see like a Kevin or like a Chris Kirk shoot like 20 and lose by a shot or something. He may be on the docket, but we'll see. We'll see.
Unbelievable. I'd be just interested, unless you're really a diehard golf gambler, you're in some type of pool. With college football and the NFL going on right now, I think this event's just going to get lost unless there's some type of crazy 2 on a par 5 or a hole-in-1 to win. I think this is just going to be one of those things on the bottom ticker. Chris Kirk minus 24 wins Sanderson Farm. So It is what it is this time of year, right? None of the big guys are going to be playing from the Ryder Cup. I don't think I saw anybody's name from the Ryder Cup, either squad.
Mm-hmm. So they're playing. If anybody's playing that, they're playing over in Dunhill, and that's a lot of the Euros. So I think like Terrell's playing over there, and then a couple of the other live guys. But other than that, it's nothing going on over here. That's for sure. Everybody's hanging their head.
All right. Well, let's just rip it then, boys. Same as always, top 5, top 10, top 20, top 40. Pick from anybody. We're going to go by standings, reverse order. Top 5 pick for Andrew Duval. You were up first. Anybody in the field?
Give me JT Poston.
Love it. JT Poston. Everybody has a song for him.
Give me my boy.
It is not Tony. I think it is me.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go my boy, Mr. Batia. Who doesn't like a
favorite? Yeah.
Tall, left-handed. I had to take the favorite before Tony did.
Smart. Good call there.
Yeah. Tony, who do you like?
Well, I guess that leaves me with the guy who just missed out on the American team, Mr. Minwoo Lee.
I was going to take him, but
yeah.
I was hoping he made it to the second round. But no.
I'm hoping he comes out in a little better form than he finished last year. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Myself is up for the top 10. I'm going to go with my guy who I thought was going to make some noise at the Tour Championship. He did for a round, and then he fell off. Mr. Bridgman.
Yeah.
Top 10.
Figured that was coming.
T, who do you get?
I'm going to go with Ben On.
Love it.
God.
Playing very good golf there at the end of the year. We'll see. Keeps it going.
All right. Duval, top 10. We just took everybody off your list that you had written down.
Give me Max Homa. Give me Max Homa.
Oh, that's
Oh.
early. That's early. I had him as top 40. That's early.
Give me Max Homa.
Boy, you evaluate his swing once. Now you're homies.
He's got the cut. He's gonna hit the old cuts. He's out there.
He's eliminated one side of the golf course.
Yeah.
Well, I
no
mean,
left.
Unreal.
It's going to be scoring good.
So let's see. Duval went first. I went first. So Tony, you're up first. Top 20.
Oh, do I do it to you, Mike? I think I know who you're picking here. I think I want to step in here since you took my favorite. I'm going to go with Mr. Bazudenhout.
Got it.
Snap in there.
No, I think I'm going to be Bazudenhout free this PGA Tour season.
Wow.
I have favorites, but I only ride them for so long.
No
I may
way,
not.
man.
I may not even
I
pick.
take the over on that.
I may not even take Gerard this year. We'll see.
Oh, wow.
Maybe for the Honda, or what do they call it now? The PGA at PGA National. I might take them there, but
The Cognizant.
Yeah, the Cognizant.
yeah. All right. So if that was Tony, then it's Andy, top 20.
Bo Hostler.
Ah, you think that's a good idea with him being in a playoff last year?
I do.
I guess so, right?
I do.
It's not like you're picking him to win.
Absolutely not.
All right. Oh, I'm looking to scratch him off, but he's not on my list.
Who you got?
I'm going Thurston Lawrence, gentlemen. He might be
Tristan?
my Thurston.
Sounds like you're thirsting for Lawrence.
It's Thurston Lawrenson. It's not Tristan.
I think the H is silent.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So much for me reading every letter in somebody's name. My bad.
The one time you do.
The one time I do it, yeah.
Yeah.
He might Thurston, as he'll be known from here out. Thurston, he might be my new booze hoot for this year. We'll see.
I like it.
So then we're to top 40. So that means we're back to Andy.
Back to me.
Yep, back to you.
Eric Cole.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was playing. Nice pick.
There's a lot of good fringe names on this. This is
There
a
is.
big field.
I am I'm between two guys. Tony, do you want to go or you want me to go?
Go for it. I'm deliberating myself.
Yeah, I don't think either of these guys are on your radar. So it won't help you going first anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yeah, I'll do Jesper Svezen
Nice.
for my top 40 just because I can't pronounce the other guy's name.
Guy moves it.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. And I think
All
he
right.
might be my new Gerard this year. We'll see. We'll see if he plays into the role.
Wow.
So who do you got, Tone? Who's your last top 40?
So that leaves me with this guy's name's just sticking out at me. I'm gonna go with the veteran, Mr. Kuchar.
Wow.
Tony loves some Kuchar.
I
Wow.
do.
It was either that or like Jonathan Bird or something like that.
I was also considering Cam, your boy.
Tringali?
No. Shoot, Cameron Champ.
Oh.
Oh, is Champ playing? I didn't look that far down the list. I didn't get into the 200s.
He is.
The guy I couldn't pronounce, he's a Japanese player. Rio
Ishikawa?
Hastasuni.
Yeah, Hadasuni or whatever.
Hadasuni? Yeah, so whatever that guy. He was my other guy. It was either him or Jesper. And I didn't want to embarrass myself like I just did trying to say his name, so I went with
I'm glad you got Svensson out.
No Valimaki sightings. I'm shocked.
I kept him off the list.
This is gonna be the one he gets too.
Yeah, he wins this week for sure. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Kuchar, it's funny. I'm in my basement because of internet issues in the garage, and I'm looking. I think I actually have a Bridgestone golf bag signed by Matt Kuchar. I think I'm looking at it
Where do
right
you get these? Where do you
Yeah,
get these
dude, that
random?
here. Let me see if I can grab it. Hang on.
that's a deep pull. What do you think that fetches on eBay? Like 120?
Maybe more. Is it a staff bag? Is it a staff bag?
Like, I love how he's got the garage chair in the basement.
Yeah.
That's a classic. If it's a staff bag, maybe 150.
I think probably like a quick 220 on the staff bag.
Does it value or devalue that it's signed by Kuchar? That's
I don't know. I'm pretty positive. Let me see. It's a Cole Sweet, USA. I think it might have been the last. I think it might have been the last time he played on the last Ryder Cup. And if you look, I believe that's his sig right there,
wow.
and somebody else.
Somebody else. The eBay listing: Ryder Cup bag signed by Kuchar and somebody else.
Yeah, that one right there is Kuchar, and I'd have to look back at the time to see who the other big Bridgestone player was. That might be Snedeker.
Sneds, yeah.
Yeah, it is Snedeker. Now that I look at it, yeah.
Wow.
So this was for those
$85.
Oh, you know where this was? Here's where I got it from. Back, I used to be a big Bridgestone ball staffer. I was actually one of the biggest green grass Bridgestone ball accounts in Western New York. And the rep and I, we had a dispute over $600 that they cost me whenever they were changing over reps. And long story short, I no longer carry Bridgestone. But in the meantime, the rep before him, because I was one of the bigger ball accounts, I was supposed to go to Firestone. And that was the big Bridgestone Firestone tournament in Ohio. And they wine and dine me as a thank you. And it was always during our invite. So I can't go. So one of the times he brought back this bag and said, sorry, you couldn't go, but here's a bag. And it's signed by, these guys.
That's pretty
cool. That's how I got it. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's just my basement.
The invite is much bigger than the Bridgestone, so you're in luck.
100%.
It's been waiting for how many years in my basement to make it on the 1 foot drive.
That's it. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, it was meant to be, buddy. It was meant to be.
All right, so that's our picks. Good luck, boys. We had some good punishment suggestions coming out. We got that hotline, so keep them coming. DJ used it. Got our last one in for some type of Travis Kelce, I guess. I mean, I really think one of you two would be the best because a lot of those photos, like, there's a lot of chest hair going on.
Oh my God, no way. You would kill that photo shoot, Mike. Come on.
Well, I think I would too, but I think you guys
then maybe we should get that in there. That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe so.
If you're that confident.
Hey, we'll let the picks, speak for themselves. We got like 5 more weeks after this, so it'll be coming quick enough. But we'll still take it suggestions. Call that hotline.
Yeah,
get them
out there.
Sure.
All right, let's get into our world famous segment. Everybody loves it.
Player or pretender.
We are on 3 in a row, Duvall.
We're on 2. We need to go to 3.
Okay, Tony, the floor is yours. Let's go. Bring it.
Well, good luck to you, gentlemen.
What's our theme this week, Tony?
Well, like you said, we've got Country Club of Jackson in Mississippi. So we're going down south for a little player pretender from Mississippi. So,
is there any professionals from Mississippi?
We're going to find out. I mean, maybe I'm throwing you a total loop here.
2 of them are for sure.
Maybe they're all fictional and I'm just changing the rules. Here we go. You never know.
I'm trying to.
No, we're gonna play 2 truths and a lie. Don't worry. Keep it traditional here.
No. I'm just. All right. Well, go ahead. While you do that, I'm just trying to think of any active PGA Tour players that are even from.
All right. So, golfer number 1, we got Mr. Matt Callahan, born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. turned pro in '94 after a successful college career at Southern Miss. Played intermittently on the PGA Tour through the mid-'90s, claiming 2 career victories, the '96 Buick Challenge and the 1998 Deposit Guarantee Classic, which was Mississippi's long-running tour event at the time. Callahan's best showing in a major was a tie for 14th at the '97 Open Championship, his lone top 20 finish at a major. That is golfer number 1, Mr. Matt Callahan. Golfer number 2, Cody Gribble. Though born in Texas, Gribble has strong ties to Mississippi through college competition in the Southeast. He earned his PGA Tour card in 2016 and won in his rookie season at the Sanderson Farms Championship held in Jackson, Mississippi. While that victory remains his lone tour, I can see you guys, by the way. Gribble has recorded multiple 25 finishes since. His best result in the major came at the 2017 U.S. Open, where he finished tied for 38th. That's Cody Gribble. Golfer number 2. Golfer number 3, Jonathan Randolph, a native of Brandon, Mississippi. Randolph started at Ole Miss before turning pro in 2011. Played most of his career on the Web.com and Korn Ferry tours, earning multiple promotions to the PGA Tour. Randolph's best season came in 2017, where he finished inside the top 125 on the FedEx Cup list, highlighted by a tie for 8th at the John Deere Classic. He made a handful of major appearances, best result being a tie for 42nd at the 2017 PGA Championship. That is golfer number 3, Jonathan.
Number two is real. Yeah, okay. We're going number 1.
3 is real. Number 1, he was reading it, and it immediately didn't sound right, even before I heard the other 2. And all I could think of was Tommy Callahan. No, that's got to be made up because it's too much of Tommy Boy. So number 1, lock it in for me.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, well done, boys. 3 in a row, is that correct?
Yep.
Yes,
We're on
sir.
3.
Oh, cha-cha-cha, 3 in a row. Big props.
Yeah. Number 2 was Big
Good
Debo.
old Cody Gribb. Yeah, Cody Gribb. Good player. Very good player.
I was wondering if you guys would recognize that name or not, but
I've been in a few spots. With the old Gribb. So.
Yeah.
All right. Another good job, Tony.
3 in a row. Tony.
3 in a row.
All right.
And now, gentlemen, don't adjust your sets. It is time for a little bit of Ryder Cup discussion. Do you guys see this sign they hung up?
Oh, yeah.
What does it say? Recommended on European... What?
Recommended which is recommended only for European golfers.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't print it out in color.
Which was real. Which was real this week.
I'll just give the weekend. Not that anybody didn't see it that's listening to our podcast, but 15-13 Europe winning. I guess you want me to read off topics, or why don't you guys just give your thoughts, and then I got some stuff I'd like to get your opinions on as we go through it. But Duval, you want to rip? What do you think about the Ryder Cup? Your thoughts?
Man, do we want to start with just the putting situation that went on this weekend? In the first 2 days of foursomes and 4-ball, it was. I'm pretty sure that the Americans did not make a putt over 20 feet until late Saturday or mid-round Saturday.
I think it'd be generous. It was 10 feet.
Yeah, sure. I know. I just remember Griffin made one from off the back of the green, late on or mid-round on Saturday against Justin Rose, and then Rose made a 30-foot swinger. So
yeah, he just topped one right on him.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of the whole week. Europeans played some great golf every time the U.S. had an opportunity. You just saw somebody else stuff one. Course setup, greens dicey. I know they got some rain. I know they got everything, whatever. I watched 5 irons come flying in there, and they were landing and backing up. I'm not
Yes.
sure that that's the kind of golf we wanted to play against that sort of team. But
Nope.
outside of that, I can't wait to talk about the fans and all the Rory stuff and all the things that were going on. I mean, I watched Shane Lowry get held back from going into the gallery. It was a wild weekend. It was pretty boring. If you were an American, hoping that they were going to do something, but if you like good golf and you wanted to see, um, you know, guys just kind of going back and forth, and when you want to stomp on somebody, the Europeans made sure that they just continued and brought the heat. So outside of that, I mean, it was fun to watch. Even though we were getting trampled, it was fun to watch. Um, I thought that the Europeans put out some pretty good teams. The whole, I
Oh
was
yeah.
I was shocked by a few guys. I thought Sepp played better than maybe we had thought he was going to play. I kind of say that about Lowry as well. Um, but the guys that were supposed to play well in Europe, they did their job. Rory, Fleetwood, Rose, they did what they were supposed to do, and I'm still astonished by Justin Rose. I was talking about it all weekend with some different people, and he's just a gamer, man. He's just a gamer, and he always finds a way. So it was fun. It was fun. Tony.
Yeah, I agree. It was a fun watch. All 3 days, I think were. If you're a fan of good golf, it was a fun watch. Uh, I will put a big asterisk on that statement because I forget who it was, but somebody said they neutered Beth Page Black, and I think that's a great way to put it. Just didn't have. It was like I think it was the same conversation. Like they called it TPC Beth Page, and it was
Yep.
like, yeah, that's a great way to kind of describe it because it was just a birdie fest that you weren't expecting. I was shocked at how the tournament or match ebbed and flowed. I was pretty confident, as you guys know, that the Europeans were gonna take it. But I didn't think it was gonna be so lopsided the first 2 days and then so lopsided the other way on the last day. So to me that was interesting. But yeah, I think the course conditions were kind of disappointing because there is a little bit of like you tune into a Beth Page Black and you want to see the best players in the world be challenged, instead of just like, oh, I'm gonna blast driver as hard as I can into whatever and just have a wedge and spin it out of the rough. Like obviously these guys are putting new wedges in at a Ryder Cup, but that's just like it's cool to see how good these guys are when they don't have to think and they can just aim and fire, which but I think that's not really the time for that kind of golf. I would have loved to see a little more thinking being needed through the golf course. And yeah, the fan stuff, it was a little, I don't know, not surprising at all. I mean, you put a Ryder Cup event in New York City, and it's some passionate sports fans up there, and they're used to booing people. I know some Jets fans who are used to booing their own team. So, um, but I think overall it was a fun watch. I was super happy that they kind of rallied on Sunday for Keegan mostly. I'll go to my grave saying he should have played, but
Me
at
too.
least they made a good showing for him.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think it was just too much for them. They said over the first 2 days, the Europeans gained like 9.3 strokes on the greens. That's just astronomical when you're playing those kind of formats. But yeah, it was definitely entertaining, and I think that's what you want out of a Ryder Cup, and I enjoyed it a lot. What'd you think, Mike?
Yeah, I would just echo kind of what you guys had already said, and my biggest takeaway was the course setup. We had said last week that I said with Beth Page, you could turn that into a U.S. Open. And that was the Americans' advantage because of how well they played at Oakmont under those conditions. Well, Keegan took one piece of my advice, which was to widen the fairway a little bit for the long hitters. Now that backfires because you have Rahm and Rory that can also hit it that far. You got a lot of other dudes on that European team. They're not hitting it out there. So I don't mind the widening the fairway a little bit. But to go ahead and cut the rough down just made no sense whatsoever. Like, what are we doing here? And they, because they got so much rain, the guys actually preferred being in the rough on some of those holes because like 100 yards out of the fairway, you saw, what was it, number 3? They just kept spinning it off the green. They're in the fairway, just spin it off the green, spin it off the green. So if they're coming out of the rough, they at least have a little check and be able to hold. So I think that was a major, had it not rained, would have been different. The greens would have been a little firmer. May not have been so bad, but I think it was something stupid. I saw Europe over the first 2 days was minus 34 over the 4 sessions.
Yeah.
And USA was minus 23. That's not even them playing all the holes because a lot of those matches ended early. So they're like 32 or 34 under, and not through, and they're not even through. Was it 18? So it's not even through 72 holes. They're probably 34 under through like what we get to maybe 58 holes played. It's just kind of wild, and that played right into the European advantage because I think they all are better putters than the Americans on the Europe squad. So if you turn it into a putting contest, I've not played Beth Page, but a couple guys that have played it that I chat golf with said the difficulty of that course is tee to green. When you get to the greens, they're relatively flat. And, the announcers made a lot of comments about every putt here is right edge, left edge, or inside the hole. 90% of the putts you have at Bethpage, no matter what distance, that's what it's going to be. So if you're giving these guys a pool table and very little break, and the greens aren't that fast, which the Euros love, I mean, it's a perfect storm for the Americans to get their teeth kicked in, and they did. So that was, that was a little unfortunate, and you hate to use that as an excuse because the Euros did play well. Typical American fashion, they just did not show up. A couple guys had a little, felt bad. Bryson is the first tee shot. He smokes it down to like 20 yards off the green. And then JT just snubs it to 30 feet, and then Bryson has to make the putt. Like, Bryson carried that match for as long as he could. And, you're just dragging some captain's picks around that we thought shouldn't have been there. And really, as it played out, they really shouldn't. There are a couple.
Well, I mean, look at JT.
Shouldn't have happened.
To that point, Mike, like look at JT and Cam Young in the afternoon. Like I'm pretty sure Cam Young was like 6 under in that 4-ball match with JT, and he was the one that really won the match. I mean, JT I think made a couple of birdies. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
But I mean, Cam Young carried JT around, and Bryson tried to do the same. But I mean, when you're playing foursomes and you just have JT hitting shots that he was hitting, what's Bryson supposed to do? It was absurd. That first match that went out. So
yeah, and there's a lot you could be critical of the captain about. There's a shit ton, right? My big one is I know Bryson hitting the first tee ball was cool, right? But what about Cam Young? He's from that area. At one time held the course record. To not have Cam Young at least play that morning was absurd, I thought. And I thought it would be really cool if he hit the first tee ball, because a lot of it was talked about.
Not to mention, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
I was just going to say the Does he hit it as far as Bryson? Maybe not, but Cam's no slouch. Cam could blow it over the trees and hit it right to the – I mean, him and Bryson, I think that would be a formidable duo in Ryder Cup matches for the future. I mean, that's a really, really, really solid team. They both can putt the ball. Cam struggled, but this year he's got a little trick and he's putting it really well right now. Hits it really good. I think that was probably besides course setup, I didn't like the fact that they didn't have Cam Young out there all 5 rounds.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't remember now, but I totally agree with that. I think to put Harris English and Colin Morikawa out there instead of Cam Young, JJ Spawn, like
not once, but twice.
Let's run it back.
What are you doing?
They didn't get past hole 13, so let's run it back and see if they can get it. Let's see if they can see the backside.
Did they? You can't, and we were joking about it on our last pod about when Colin Morikawa goes out for singles, like you already know that points, like you just take it as an L, but like you can't do that when you're playing the group the first 2 days. Like there's only 4 points available per session, and you can't sacrifice any of that just because they're playing against Rory and Fleetwood. Let's just give them that one and send them out there so everybody gets to play. Like, this isn't participation trophy soccer. Like, come on, like what is going on here? So that was really disappointing. And then, like you said, let's run it back. Like, what?
Yeah, maybe they'll do better. Boy, they both came off the course, and they're like, geez, we should have had that. We'll get it for you, Keegan. And Keegan's got to be a strong enough guy to be like, you had your chance. I'll see you at singles. Because you have to play.
100%.
Well, what's sad about it, too?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, what's sad about it is they came out and they have all these statistics. They were the worst pairing that you could put together.
Yes.
They were the worst pairing you could put together. So what are we doing?
If you want to throw stats out the window, fine. And you got a feeling about 2 guys, fine. But don't do it again.
That feeling was gone Friday morning on by like 10:45.
I was going to say,
sooner. By
hole 6, that's over. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
6th hole, you're like, can we just? You're both hurt. You're both hurt. We'll get each other a point. Yeah. I mean, and you looked at that from the European standpoint. Europe had one rookie, Hogart, played in 2 matches. That's it. He got to play singles, and then he got one other. Then he got one other run. Doesn't And I felt like Keegan tried to balance it. I don't have the mat. I forgot it upstairs as how many matches everybody played, but I think America was pretty balanced, with the exception of like Scottie.
Way too balanced.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of junk. And I mean, Harris English, I love Harris. He's a good player, but you know how he got his half point? Because Hovland got hurt.
Yeah,
the envelope. He didn't even play.
So he got the envelope half point. And that was his only point of the entire Ryder Cup, and he played a shit ton. Colin got half a point, English. And my most disappointed, I never pick him. He's Duval's horse that he picks all the time. What the hell was wrong with Russell Henley? I mean, he's the only guy on the American team that's the finger quote best putter on the American team, and you have 2 putts in individuals, 17 and 18, and you leave them both short in the heart. What? You are a professional player, by the way, who's getting paid $500,000 to be at the Ryder Cup. These boys are getting paid now. No more of this playing for your country shit. These guys are mercenaries now, and they're not getting the shit done. That's just, it's sad. No other word for it, but just unexcusable and sad. At least run it by the flipping hole. You got 25 handicaps that know when the match is on the line, I need to at least get it to the hole. You don't even give it a chance. It's just, right. I think he was just trying to lag it and have Lowry give him the match and hope Lowry screws up. But those boys on the other side, they're pros as well. They're not gonna do that shit. That got me going.
Henley didn't look good the whole. I mean, I was a little disappointed how hard Henley took the Ryder Cup after being a President's Cupper, and I understand that it's a different show.
Mm-hmm.
But he's played that international team golf. He just looked so out of sorts with Scottie the first foursomes match on Friday, and it really doesn't matter what Scottie does. And not that I think Scottie played great golf, but I felt like he held his own for a lot of it. Yeah, but if you put Scottie out there with somebody who's not holding up his end of the deal, like you can't beat two guys, especially in foursomes. Maybe in four ball, Scottie gets hot and shoots 6, 7, 8 under or something on his own ball. Great, you have a chance. But like in foursomes, the weak link comes out, and Russell was that. So I'm disappointed in that because I had some high hopes for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of not playing up to snuff, our text chat was pretty fiery about sitting Scottie on day 2, as I recall.
Oh yeah,
I was totally into sitting. I said this. They should have sat him on Saturday morning foursomes.
Yes.
Why do you think? And I don't think he played that much better. He got a little better, but he definitely didn't play up to his caliber the whole time. Would you agree?
I would agree.
What do you think that is? Because that kind of setup for him is perfect, right? You would think birdie fest, he can just drive it anywhere.
Let's throw it out. Let's throw it out here this way. You guys play team golf. Sometimes pressing just isn't the way you got to go. And I think when you put a guy out there that's world number one, I mean, you look at like Phil and Tiger back in the day, you look at some of these other world number ones that they try to pair with people. I think when you kind of take the load on your shoulders, it becomes difficult. I mean, if you're playing a 4-ball match and you feel like, maybe your partner's not playing well, or they're not playing as they're not getting the looks, or maybe they're not making some putts and their putter is just kind of cold. You're looking at it as, man, now I got to make a bunch of birdies, and you're a little bit out of. Scottie's just so process oriented when he plays regular golf tournaments. He just wants to hit it here and hit it there, and if he makes 4 or 5 birdies a round, he's probably only making 1 bogey or none. And he's going to shoot his 4 or 5 under par, and he's going to do it for 4 days, and he's going to, that's what he's going to do. But when you're playing against 2 guys on a soft golf course, and now all of a sudden he feels like he's got to make 8, 9 birdies, the next thing you know, everything gets a little tighter. You're not in your normal process. And I really do believe that that's part of the reason why some of these world number ones struggle when they're out there. And I'll say that about Tiger. And not that Tiger can't do it, but if you just put Tiger out there on a normal golf course in a normal tournament, he just lets it fly and he does his thing, and it's that. He's not playing against 2 guys for 18 holes. He's playing against an entire field for 72. And I think that's a huge part of it. So and who knows? Who really knows what it is, but I would like to hear Scottie. I would like to hear some honest, if we could kind of be in the room, fly on the wall, maybe talking to his wife or something, that maybe we hear, what he was really thinking, what he was really feeling.
Well, it's funny you say that, because that's kind of what made me write this down, and I wanted to ask you guys about it. But my question was, and this was while I was watching his post-round interview, does he care too much? Because he was in tears in that post-round interview. I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but
Oh no.
he was welling up, and I don't think I've ever seen him emotional like that for any kind of, like, even the Open he won, and he's like, oh, it's cool for 2 minutes, and then
Well,
but
he cried. He cried 2 years ago in France or wherever, in Paris, when
Hmm.
Ludberg and whatever beat him
right,
and Brooksy 8-7 or whatever. He was crying in the back of the golf cart.
right,
Um, so yeah, maybe I don't know. I didn't realize that that's what he. I
like
didn't
like
really see a lot of post round interviews and stuff. So
well, to your point, like, he's out of that mindset of, like, everything's good. Like, I'm gonna go home and eat Chipotle after this, no matter what happens. Like, no, this is like the bullets are flying for real for him, because this is actually something that he's caring about in a different way. Not that he
yeah,
doesn't care about the other stuff, but I think you know what I'm trying to say here. So, does he need to learn to kind of, like, because Rory was that same way for his first couple Ryder Cups, I believe, like him crying after rounds and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I think that means you care, and I think you just need to learn how to channel that energy, or kind of put it over to the side, compartmentalize things a bit. I'm not sure. That's just why I wanted to get your guys' opinion on that. What did you
what do
did
you
you
think,
happen to
Mike?
catch any of that, Mike?
I did. I was driving back, and like I told you guys, we listened to it on the radio, the back nine. But I did
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
I don't think you can care too much. But I do think Duvall brings up a good point. It makes a lot of sense. Is that he plays to, like, what Tony calls the decade golf. Scotty plays it to a T, man. He knows his strokes gained. He knows where to hit it. He knows the big parts of the greens. Boom, boom, boom. Like a machine, a boring robot. He goes around the course 72 holes, and he knows that he's better than anybody else at playing decade golf to do da, 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 da. And if he makes a couple more putts, he's going to shoot 65 or 6. If he doesn't make any putts, he'll shoot
Hmm.
68, 69. And then if he just steps on it and hits it out of bounds, he'll shoot even, right? So that's his regular tournament golf. And then he gets into this, and he must either trash that, thinking he needs to birdie every hole, or he kind of gets stuck with a partner, and that the other partner, Scotty, might be like, yo, we got to hit it there, and the other guy just has no ability to do it, and that may wear on him because he's just like, oh, I can't do this. So I think it's just, to Duvall's point, I don't think he has a good game plan for the Ryder Cup, and you think that he would, in the four ball, where you think he'd be able to just play his own ball, take the game plan, and go after it. But the Euros just make so many putts, you just start pressing, and it's a snowball, right? And there's really a lot. I know a lot of
I
people
mean,
say there's not a lot to them, but you keep getting punched in the face, it's demoralizing. I mean, at some point, these guys are only human, and they see the Euros making every single putt, no matter how good they are. They're just like, at some point, they gotta be like, well, shit, why am I even out here? They try to
Hmm.
get it back, and somebody's got to be able to do something to turn the belief, and it never really happened for him. So I don't
yeah, I
know.
mean, if
I
you
think it would
look
have been
at
good.
if you look at Bryce, if you look at Bryson and Scotty when they went out and played their four ball match, I mean, they ran into an absolute buzzsaw. If
Mm-hmm.
they were playing Rose at Fleetwood, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I mean, I don't know how you beat that duo when I think they birdied, like in that group, I think they birdied the first like 8 holes. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there were 6 under through 8
yeah. So, I mean,
was
if
the
you
stat.
start, yeah, if you start looking at that, what
An
else do you do?
alternate
You
shot.
birdie, yeah, you birdie every hole. Like you
It's
basically have to
crazy.
birdie every hole. So it's, that's a tough way to go about things. And whether it's Bryson, whether it's Scotty, um, whatever, you're just, you get up against a duo that's playing that well, it's going to be tough to beat them. But you start playing a 4-ball match where it's your partner's not making birdies, and I feel like um, there were a lot of the Americans. Cantley missed a couple of short putts that he hasn't normally missed over the years. He didn't have a great
Sure.
putting season this year, but like you get into a team event like that and he hits it stiff, and you guys are supposed to pick up a point and kind of change the rally. Next thing you know, you're giving the Europeans another shot at, we're tied, we're not down one, we're tied. Okay, we're gonna go birdie the next hole, we're one up, and that's a big shift in energy. So,
well, and that's why I say, like, are they playing a little too tight? I think the Europeans, maybe it's because they're away, so they feel like they have less to lose. But it just seemed like they were playing a little, not careless isn't the word, but a little more carefree in terms of like, if they did lose a point, right on the next hole, they would come back with some great golf. Versus the Americans, it was like, oh, thank God we won a hole, and then like, let's try and hold on to the, it was just a different vibe until they got to Sunday, right? When they were just like, oh, we got nothing to lose, let's just go out here and sling it. And I don't know. I think there's some psychological things to unpack there, but
the last little thing with Scottie, if you guys picked up on it, I didn't watch a ton of coverage, but when I did see the coverage, and obviously Scottie played in every match, so he was on it all the time. And this was in irregular tour events too, and I think it's bleeding over into the Ryder Cup, and I'll be curious if it bleeds over if he plays any fall events as his putting. It seems like he's having a hard time reading the greens and or picking the right line or getting the ball started on the line that he thinks. A lot of the times the announcers are like, oh, that trick Scottie. Oh, Scottie's trying to figure it out. Oh, Scottie didn't get the right read. Like, I don't know if he's just in his head too much looking for something that's not there. I don't know if you guys picked up on that or not, but that's the last thing I would say about the Scottie Scheffler thing is just, I think on the greens, he was really in his head bad.
Yeah, it seemed like that first match and maybe the second match too that he was just pushing putts. Like he was just coming through with that face just a little open. So that little bit of doubt maybe crept in and
starts bleeding.
He definitely was not matching speed and line for sure.
I also think that has to do with the fact of when you're trying to make putts. Like when
in your prep,
when you're trying to make a putt, and you just next thing you know, you're whether you're moving a hair to take a peek at it or things just aren't as flow state as they should be. And I'm not saying that he's not focused or anything. It just has to do with if your routine gets off a tiny bit and your eyes don't get back, or there's a little bit going on in your brain or a little extra tension, that the ball's not coming off where you're looking all the time. And at that point, you're just kind of hoping that maybe you misread it by a ball and it ends up going in, or you hit it firm enough that it takes some of the break away and it ends up going in. I think that there's a lot of factors, especially when you get into like 4-ball and foursome situations where there's a teammate and there's a necessity for making putts and making birdies. You didn't see a lot of putts that were like, oh man, these guys got to make a 10-footer for par, because everybody was able to basically keep it in the fairway. They were able to keep it on the green if they were in the rough. And nobody was making a lot of bogeys. I mean, I watched Scottie. You want to talk about it? That last shot that he hit into 18 on like Saturday morning, I think it was. He had like 100. It was like a wedge, maybe a 9-iron to a front right
they
flag,
anywhere,
and he damn near shanked it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was uncharacteristic to say the
And
least.
the other guy
So
was it
where's that?
JT?
Where's that?
18. They all had like 98 to 113 in on 18. That was your shot. And was it JT had dumped it in the bunker? Somebody shoved it in the bunker with that little front right pin. Needed you, homie. Let's dump it in the bunker from 98 yards.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are you doing,
I
man?
mean,
I
yeah,
don't know
it
if it was
was.
JT, but he seems as
So
guilty as. All right, boys. Well, I think we beat up Scottie Scheffler enough. He'll be the first to tell you getting 1 point out of the 5 matches that he played was not good enough, and I'm sure in 2 years we'll see if he does better. But I wanted to pivot to the fans. The fans was a big discussion point at the Ryder Cup, and I don't want to get into the F-bombs and the security and all that stuff. That I think that speaks for itself, and we all know the Long Island jerkies. They're going to be who they are, right? Use guys, wise guys. Hey, you. That's just who they are. But I wanted to get into. I was sitting there thinking about it, and I'm like, Europe, and not because of the swearing, okay? Europe has the better fan in the Ryder Cup by miles, and it's not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Like their chants, the way they get witty, the humor.
Oh yeah,
Like Friday morning,
the chant
they,
thing.
they come out, and the Americans come out, and what do? Everybody's like USA, USA,
Yeah.
that's what we got, right? That's what they do. So then, like that died down. There's a quiet moment, and the Europe lads are like, they start their chant because it's super quiet. They're like, "It's a library in here. It's a library in here. It's a library in here. Hey, hey!" And Lowry and all them are like laughing. They're like, "Yeah,"
oh yeah.
whatever their chant was. And then, then the Americans hear it. All these different chants that they do, like hold your shoe if you're winning by 5. Hold your shoe if you're winning by. And the Americans are like, USA,
Yeah.
USA,
Yeah.
USA. That's all we got, right? Nobody does shit. So I guess to combat it, did you guys see the clip? I may have sent it to you. One of the mornings,
Oh yeah.
all the fans on number 1, and they had a couple people either from the PGA or whoever trying to teach U.S. fans chants.
Yeah.
So it was like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, here's the word Scottie Scheffler.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
It's
as soon
so
as
bad.
and everybody just started booing. They're like, "Go bong yourself!"
I,
Where are we at? Where are we
what are
at?
we
Where are we at?
doing?
Where are we at in sports as Americans? I mean, it's just a blaring hole in American sports. Like you think about it, you go to like a football game, right? What do we do at a football game? It's get
Defense.
out as you can. Just
Yep.
scream at the top of your lungs when your team is on defense to help them. Get absolutely hammered. So the culture is go to the game and absolutely get hammered to where you don't remember it.
Yep.
And then yell as loud as you can to where you can't talk for 2 or 3 days afterwards. Like you go to a football game in Europe, they got the drinking part, they're having fun, but they're doing chants and songs and da da da. Now I know it's different because soccer's played different than football, right? There's not big pivotal moments and all this stuff, but like I think Europe crushes America
100%.
with
Just
fan
as fan.
involvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Even like Serbia, they always interviewed who was it the dude from the Nuggets, the real tall guy. He's from like Slovakia or Czechoslovakia or something. And the one person's like, "Hey, it got really loud in here today. What'd you think of that?" And he just started laughing. He's like, "You've never played in Serbia, brother." Like they showed a Serbia basketball game where it's like one of those soccer matches. Everybody's like, "Ah." I mean, how awesome to go to that stuff. That would be just,
Yes.
that would be sweet. But I don't know if you guys wanted to add to that or not. I just thought that was hilarious, trying to teach them chants.
Oh,
And
that was so cringe.
every time the Euros came up with something, the only thing that Americans could do was try to chant out USA. And
Yeah.
If you guys heard something different from the Americans, I'd love to hear it, but I didn't hear shit.
No, yeah, it was a sad display for sure. Man, that video, like it was like watching a car crash, you know, you can't look away.
Yeah.
So bad.
And nobody can stop it either.
Yeah,
But
the early Saturday morning Scottie Scheffler chant.
yeah.
We need to ditch that
Yeah.
immediately. So yeah, it wasn't pretty. There's actually a lot of there's a guy down here, Irish guy down here that was blowing up my phone, and even some like the shit that he was saying to me, like I had nothing. Like I was just like I was like this is great. I was just laughing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean they
And
they do know how to do it over there because
Oh,
they do have like all their team chants, and like when it
yeah.
comes to football, when it comes to like other sports that they have their like team anthems and or all of that stuff. We've
Yeah.
got none of that. We've
No.
got none of that.
Nope.
Agreed. And you know what else too is usually a common refrain from like Americans when they go over there to play. It's like, oh, these are like really intelligent golf fans. Like they applaud good shots and things like that. And and it's just like ours is just like booing them and just trying to get on their nerves. And it's like you're pretty much being the Herb Brooks for their Miracle on Ice. You know, like you're making them more united as a team. Like what athlete, like we're talking on the radio this morning, you know, in Buffalo here, we've got Stephon Diggs coming back this weekend, and they're talking about booing him. And it's like you're just gonna fuel his fire. You know, you think about Jordan and all these great athletes that just feed off of that, and you're not helping that at all. Just like cheer on your team. There's no need to be negative Nancy's to the. You're not helping your team by booing the other guys. You know, it's
Well,
just
do you remember when they had Hatgate 2 years ago with Cantley?
Yeah, it's great they got
yes,
him this year. That was awesome.
Yeah, they fitted him well. But he was that way towards the end of that late Saturday match or whatever it was. Yeah, it was the Saturday evening match that week, where he ended up making three putts from like 10 to like 30 feet to come back and win that match. When what's his name, the caddy was winging his hat
Yeah.
around, and then
Oh,
Rory got
LaCava.
Lacava,
upset.
yeah.
Yeah, LaCava. That
Then
I
Bones
feel
got
like that's
involved. Yeah.
that's what it does with these guys. You're right, Tony. I think that's what it does to good players when you get on them, or like you start to fuel them. You know, they know how to kind of turn it up. They're used. I feel like if you're a great athlete, you're used to having that growing up through the ranks. If
Mm.
you're very good, if you're elite, you're a target. And anytime you're playing, that's the way it goes. So
Mm-hmm.
you're always talked about. They're always trying to find a way to like step you down, and you have to understand how to be able to like work that and use it as fuel and energy and get above it. So I agree with you. It was sad. I mean, honestly, it was sad. Just some of the things that went on. Um, and you're right. I think that if we could just take a step back and understand that, hey, let's appreciate good and use that towards our team. Even if the other team plays well, I get it. You're not always wanting to get out there and just like root and do whatever, but you can at least sit back on after the round and be like, man, Rory hit a great shot in there to close that match out after telling, after the fan told him that bunker looks good and he said, STFU, and he
Yeah.
hits it to 3 feet. Like, what'd you do, man? What
Yeah.
what did that guy do? It focused him even more.
Oh, yeah.
So
Correct.
No, that's exactly right. And the best in the world, you create a hostile environment. It's going to amp up their senses, amp up their focus, and amp up their, you know what? All right,
agreed.
buddy. You want to throw
Yep.
shit at my wife? You want to curse at me for 17 holes in a row? Guess what you got coming? I'm going to try extra hard to shove this up your ass.
Yep.
That's
Mm-hmm.
I
coming.
agree.
So that's the Americans didn't give the American fans very much to cheer for. But even if we were winning, by a landslide, I don't think those New York fans would be any different. They're a bunch of
Oh,
I
hey-yo.
agree.
worse.
They're a bunch of hey-yos. It's all about me. Hey, this is earning your stripes. This is a respect thing. 2 days later, I love Rory, but for these 2 days, it's war, and this is how I'm going to go war on him. And, I'm just going to mother F him the whole way around. And that's, it's like a badge of honor. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, dude.
I think you could have, if you use that energy to come up with some creative stuff that would be super funny. You could still make fun of people. Like they could come up with a chant about how Rory walks. He's tiptoeing down the fairway. You could do some type of like, whenever he walks, you could go, oh, oh, oh. You could do the whole up and down when he bounces every time. And then when he stops walking, you stop. And then you could, when he starts going, you go, whoa, whoa. Like you'd make fun
It's
of.
more playful.
Yeah, you could
Just
really like
something that's original.
Yes.
Something that's
just other than
creative.
I'm going to cut your dog's balls off and deep fry him and serve them to you. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to hang a rabbit from your porch. It reminds me of, it's kind of a mockery. And it's supposed to be a funny thing, but it's like the jackass guy in Happy Gilmore. That's what the New York fans were this whole weekend. They were the jackass guy.
Much, yeah.
Jackass. Jackass. Like, whatever. That's what it is.
The only thing that would have made the Ryder Cup just a little bit better for the Americans is if somebody fought Bob Barker.
Yeah, or drive a BMW on the course, or the Beetle, right?
Yeah, the Beetle.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
The Volkswagen. So
that's the fans. So what do you boys think of? I think course selection was poor in Bethpage, and then they dummied up the setup, right? So they stubbed their toe twice. Coming up in 27, they're going to Ireland. 29, they have Hazelton picked out in Minnesota. 31, they're going to be over in Spain. 33, Olympic Club in San Francisco. 35, the Euros have not announced where they're going to be, but the Americans have already announced in 37 that they're going to be a congressional. Like, can you imagine the game of golf in 12 years from now, how all these guys are going to be hitting it, and congressional's already obsolete? What are they planning? A major renovation? Are they got what? One,
I mean, they could be.
How do you pick something out that's like 12 years away? And then two, I don't know if you have to do that for whatever reason, but it's 12 years away and you're already picking the course. And then you pick something like congressional. Are they just doing it by metros and cities and time zones and course quality and course setup is secondary? Are they doing it because they need X number of hotels? Sort of like the Super Bowl game, right? They got to be in a warm city. They got to have so many hotels. They got to be next to an airport. There's certain qualifiers to where we're only getting courses like this to handle the influx of people. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like congressional. Olympic, I don't really remember that very well, but I think that's another one of those old school places. It's probably going to be obsolete unless they're adding a bunch of yardage.
I feel like Olympics a good like major setup. If I'm not mistaken, they had the USAM there this year, and then they had who won the U.S. Open that year? Was it Keegan at Olympic when Jim Furyk choked it down? And that was like it was either an Open or a PGA or something was there. But I feel like that golf course you could get kind of long rough. The air gets heavy out there because you get some fog that rolls in. It's a little cooler. Stuff like that. Congressional, I don't know. I haven't seen Congressional that much. I know that's a place. Didn't Rory win there? Didn't he win like an Open there or something, or he won something there? Yeah. I mean that golf course in 12 years is, unless like you said, I mean maybe they do have a rental coming up, but
let the rough grow.
That's going to be bomb and gouge too. Yeah, that's going to be like a bomb and wedge too. But I mean a lot of these golf courses are.
I mean, guys,
a lot of these golf courses are.
So I'm going to pivot again one of my favorite clips. I don't know if I sent it to you guys. So on Saturday afternoon, tensions get high. The whole Justin Rose and the caddy, Bryson's caddy starts walking in while he's doing his aim point, and they get into a little conversation, right? Gets a little heated. And then going in between holes, Ted Scott decides to get after Molinari from Europe.
Yeah.
And he's livid. And my favorite part is the next day, Ted Scott sends out a video with his arm around Molinari, quoting Bible scripture, and I don't want it to be about us, and I love everybody. Meanwhile, he's like, same thing. I'm gonna gut your cat. He's like just telling just miserable stuff he's gonna do to Europe and Molinari and all this stuff, and now he's like, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Together, Molinari and I are invincible. It's like, what are we doing here? I mean, that's where the ball is. What is happening?
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw it. Yeah,
I didn't see the whole thing. I saw that Ted Scott had his arm around Molinari. Listen.
And Molinari's sitting there staring like, is this over yet?
That was the best part.
He wanted to escape. He's like, is this over yet? And Ted's got him locked in. He might have had a gun to his back. Maybe that's why he didn't move. It's like, hey, you're not moving, pal.
It was definitely a hostage situation for sure. Molinari's just like, this guy's. I'm sure they're friends and whatever, but I think Ted Scott's a great dude. His Sunday sermon, super great. That's a great. That's his. What do they call that? That's his.
Shtick?
That's his shtick. That's great, but
maybe he had to do that.
But what are we doing here?
It's like, one, but even pay attention, and then two, do you need to bring more light to it by an apology reel?
We don't want to make this about us. But by the way, here's us in a reel talking about us,
and we actually just like so we're clear. Other. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Molinari doesn't say shit. He's like,
he's got, yeah.
I wish I knew what was being said. There was a clip out there that said, and I think it was a meme, but that Tommy Fleetwood walked by Bryson and said, "Hey, this is a little bit tougher than YouTube, huh?" I think it was a meme. Somebody just kind of put it out there, but that would be fantastic if he would have said that.
That's some classic European creative jab right there.
I agree.
Yeah, play mental warfare.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Anybody had room to be just winging it out there was Tommy. Definitely Ryder Cup MVP if they had one.
Yeah. Rosie.
Well, Tommy had 4 points.
He didn't play as much,
Rose had points, but they were big points, right?
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that was huge. Last thing I had on it was the whole injury debacle with Hovland. So Hovland injured. They have the envelope with the name. That's how Harris English got his only half point. But I guess on an injury, it's been written up since the 80s that's how they handled injuries. And they just split a half a point. So Europe actually could have just had 3 guys get injured or 6 guys get injured, and we'll take the cup. They're not going to do.
How would you change that? Because any other sport, I saw you play tennis, right?
Mm-hmm.
If the dude's hurt, you lose the match. You forfeit the match.
Correct.
You guys don't have and then go play doubles against the single the next round. So the guy who isn't injured goes on.
Yeah, I don't know who came up with that idea. That was.
Do you bring do we do alternate?
Why not?
That's kind of how I feel. You get one alternate and say that again.
Or you just get the full point. I don't like the alternate.
I agree.
Because if a guy is playing super bad and you go into the singles. Oh, hey, let me pick out a name here. Oh, hey, Colin, you have 0 points in 4 matches. Looks like your elbow's hurting you. We're gonna stick in our alternate to see if he has any if he could even find a club face. So I don't like
Yeah.
that because
That makes sense.
I think you just
I
lose the match.
get that. Yeah,
It's
I would
harsh though.
agree.
Guy neck slips on a pillow, sleeps on his pillow wrong, and pinches a nerve in his neck. Been there. Sucks. You wake up the next day, it's like, oh Jesus, I can't
That
move.
It's
But
half
life, though,
point
right?
was, I mean, that half point was kind of huge.
oh, it was massive.
It didn't end
So,
up being huge, but it could have been. It was close to being huge.
I mean,
I think
if that was
it
the
was
last match to go out, let's just say that's the last match to go out, and he's either forfeit the point or he's got to go play, right?
yeah,
If like those are the two scenarios outside of this envelope rule, if that's what really came down, and all you see now is, oh, we're not at, Shane's not at, if I make this, we win the Ryder Cup. It's if I make this, we still have to get a half a point somewhere.
over the
That
last
Right.
matches.
yeah, yeah. What if
And what
now that
the
changes a
level?
scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys play
What if
My,
different.
I'm more shocked at who it was in the envelope.
Yeah, Harris English. How's Harris feel about that?
I mean, this guy's had a great year.
yeah,
And you're going to tell me Morikawa needs to go out there?
yeah. Versus
I don't
Harris.
know about that. What kind of rose-colored glasses was Keegan wearing all weekend? I don't understand,
Uh,
man.
yeah, I don't either. There's just
I
a point too.
I will say this. I will say this. Uh, the Morikawa English pairing, that is a major faux pas on Keegan. But outside of that, maybe, yeah, sure, you want to throw course setup. I get it. But like, I know Keegan's gonna take this, and he came out and he said, "Oh man, I wouldn't change anything, and it was fun and all this stuff," and I truly believe that. But Keegan, man, he was not. This was not on him. This was on the way the U.S. played, the way the
Yeah,
U.S. putted, on
absolutely.
all of this, and like I feel bad that he's got to take the brunt of this. I think he's a great guy to do it because he'll just chalk it up and take it. But like, if we're calling a spade here, the United States of America players this past weekend should walk into a room and sit them down and just be like, man, you know, appreciate everything you did. Thanks for not picking yourself if that's what they truly feel. And sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. So, um, I
Do
don't
you
know.
think he captains again?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
No,
not.
no. I mean, he
I
took
mean,
Mickelson's spot. He was a last minute add in because Mickelson went to live. Mickelson was supposed to be the captain for this, and he
yeah.
went to live. And then they brought in Keegan, who might have been a Ryder Cup too early, right? So
Mm.
yeah, you get
I
that. I
mean, they
mean,
tried to get Tiger. They wanted Tiger after Mickelson when he left. They asked him, and Tiger was just like, "Nah." And then they brought in Keegan for sure. And
yeah,
unfortunately, Keegan should have been playing. And
Where was Tiger, by the way? This guy doesn't even show up
he's
to
at
ride
home.
around in a golf cart?
Nah, he's chilling. He's got
he's
his son's
him and
playing.
Charlie were getting ready for him and Charlie were getting ready for tournaments.
Yeah, the PNC's coming up.
He
The
saw the
Paris
writing
Isle.
on the wall just like we did right after the picks came out. He's like, I'm not touching that thing with a 10-foot pole.
Well, in a way, I don't blame him for not being there because
I mean,
there, then all the attention is on him. Tiger, did you talk to the team and motivate him? What'd you say to the team? He can't get away from it. So I could see just because of his name, him not being there. It's the cleanest thing to do. He's either involved in running it or you just don't show up because if he's there, all the attention's going to go to him like, oh, do you think you should be playing? Oh, how would you have done the pairings? Oh, did you talk to the team? Did you? So they're going to be asking him, and he just may want to be ripping zins, a cigar, and hanging out with Jordan, and he's not going to be able to because the media is going to want to get after him. That's that's what he wants. If he wants to go, he might be just wanting to do that. But so that's why Woods is not there in my estimation. Is just didn't want to be a distraction to the team. You're either involved or you're
I feel that.
Who's going to be the next Ryder Cup captain in Ireland for the Americans?
It's going to be somebody that's okay with losing. You're going to go over to Europe. They're going to trick it up.
Phil Mickelson threw out an interesting take that it should be somebody non-golf.
Huh.
Like Coach K or something?
Yeah, they brought in something like Coach K or whatever, and to just, bring like the cohesive aspect of coaching in that manner where like nobody else from golf coaches like in that sense.
Culture in a locker room, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
and they just use analytics.
Whoever it is, hopefully they have access to that Data Golf website, and they can make some. Get this guy a modem, for Christ's sake.
Oh my God! I mean, I'm going to tell you, Ireland's going to be a wild place.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's going to be cool.
The amount of Guinness that's going to be drank that weekend out on that golf course is going to be wild.
It's going to be a treat. I mean, you have.
Do we do in-person 1 foot drive Ireland Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
2027. We should try to
get Titleist to fly us out.
How do we make that happen? Start the process ASAP.
Start it now. Well, I'm going to guess by our last few podcasts, we're not going to get any help from the PGA of America. So we're going to have to think of somebody. Definitely. We're going to have to think of somebody else besides the PGA, and anybody on Long Island. We'll probably have to count them out.
Yeah.
Probably so.
I don't take a word back.
No, not at all. It is what it is.
Well, we'll get the GoFundMe started now, and then by maybe in 2 years it'll be halfway there.
I like it. I had my wife in the car start putting together a GoFundMe for you, Tony, because Europe looked like they were going to blow it for the tie instead of the win. So I was going to try to help you out since you had 2 mortgage payments on the Europe.
I wasn't worried.
Yeah,
units.
I was hollering and screaming. I was sitting back going, "They're gonna do it! They're gonna do it! Oh my God, they're gonna do it!" And then I watched Russell Henley just drip 2 and just, and I said, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, as soon as he left that putt short, I was like, they ain't got the chutzpah.
Let me see what Carolina and the Falcons are doing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Lord.
I could think of. I gotta go watch that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that injury thing. Did you boys know that that's not the first time it's happened since they've started the envelope system?
One other time.
The war by the shore, or whatever. The war by the shore.
1991, the USA was the beneficiary of it. They had Pate get hurt. He was supposed to play against Seve. So Pate, my elbow. So he got the half point. And that's what resulted in Europe being short a half point from retaining the cup. It was 14.5, 13.5. And Europe needed 14 to retain the cup. And the Europeans till this day said they did it on purpose and that Pate was not hurt. So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth.
You want to hear something interesting? I watched a 10-minute little tidbit on Pate yesterday or Sunday, one of the two, about how he went from an absolute stud there and everything. Ryder Cup or 3 straight, for 6 straight years or 3 straight Ryder Cups, and then went in, changed his golf swing, and fell off the face of the planet. Turned into an instructor with his own program. It was a pretty interesting 10 to 12 minutes. Might have been 16 minutes.
Wow.
It's if you ever got an opportunity to go take a peek at it and you want to learn about Steve Pate, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, we had
Yep.
I think I sent you guys a bunch of European celebration videos. Lowry dancing up on the table was pretty special. I think he was wearing like European pajamas, just ripping it. It was awesome. They did the bus chant again. Then you see the Donald Trump chant. They got that. Rory kind of messed that one up a little.
It.
No, yeah, I don't remember what it was, but they're just something about Trump and because of how Trump he rolled in and he did a flyover in Air Force One, and then
I'll have to take a peek at that one.
Yeah,
I'll have to take a peek. I saw Tyrrell Hatton was on the range at the Dunhill this morning, and I was like, oh, it's Tuesday morning. I'm like, there ain't no way that guy feels good hitting ball. He was hitting wedges. I'm like, there's no way that he feels good right now standing on the range hitting wedges. No chance.
Did I send you
after that and time change? No way.
No.
Yeah, that's a
Did
lot.
I send you guys where Tyrrell Hatton was in an interview and he kind of hedging towards a blazer of a night he had with John Rahm, and then he's just basically like, F it. All right, here's what happened.
Yeah.
For anybody that needs to look that up, contact us. We'll send you the link, but it involved, Tyrrell obviously tells it way better than I'm about to attempt, but he basically woke up on his bed laying in his own vomit, and then just the hilarity of his process of just trying to function. And then it was great listening to John Rahm. Like, you hear Tyrrell's side of it, like all these drinks, and the bartender was great, and then Rahm's like, there was some strawberry vodka crap. I don't even know where it came from or what it was. And then there was it was great listening to both sides of the story, and just they ripped it. They took it down. One for the ages.
There was somebody. Sepp Straka was a rookie, right?
For Ryder Cup, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I can't remember who it was. It was somebody else, one of the other guys. And they're like, "Oh, you gonna be able to like stay and like hang out or do whatever?" And the guy was like, "I'm pretty sure the last time when I left Paris, I had like a 5:15 flight or something, and I was flying out." And he goes, "Tara was still out. He was still out partying when I was jumping on my plane to go back to wherever." So, this guy obviously knows how to get it done, which is just a treat because,
awesome.
what a time that would be. But
and the crossover to drink too. It's not like he just grabs a rack of beer and starts going, or just hitting a vodka teas, or just hitting wine. He touches everything you could possibly drink. And he's just, I love his one quote. He said something like, everybody handles their liquid different, and I just, I'm one of those guys, when I go after it, I throw up. I'm just a guy that throws up every time. I'm like, no shit, you're drinking 6 wines, 2 Manhattans, 3 vodka teas, tell the bartender to make something up, and then you go into White Russians, and then you like, no
some
shit, bro.
Champagne, some beer.
You had like 8 alcoholic drinks, and none of them are the same, and they're all different categories of just destroying your entire body. What a treat he would be with. So if we go to Ireland, we got to try to track him down where the after party is. What a time. Might be the last thing we do.
Done.
Might be the last thing we do.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's great. So
we'll just let them know we all put mortgages on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a week. What a week.
That's a wrap. 2 more years. We'll see. 2027, Ireland. Book your tickets.
Can't wait for President's Cup, boys. Woo!
Yeah.
Cheers, gents.
Cheers. Happy birthday, Mike!
Happy birthday, Mike. Happy birthday, Mike.